Alrighty then, this is Week in Review. You guys all know the drill. Let's get right to it because I am kind of busy this month with multiple things.
Oh, like what?
Like the desert contest thing on PMC, which I am entering for the first time. I haven't done contests in a while, but this time I figured I'll do it because I have a good idea. This is what I got so far. It should look pretty weird because there's lots of elements in this project, but there's like I'm 10% done as it is, so there's still a lot to do. It's not really a complete idea yet, but I think you guys will like it when it's done. But I gotta get back to work on that because that's gonna take probably the full 21 days or however long they gave us to do it. Frankly, I think they should have given us longer because one must not rush perfection. All right, let's get right to it. Spin the wheel, and Wilfred, please keep the jokes to a minimum because the less jokes you tell, the less editing I have to do.
Oh, I'm going to tell a lot of jokes today.
Don't do it. Seriously. No. Okay, so let's start with air structure of the week. The best air structure of the week was a build titled Gorgos Heavy Starfighter by Slam Slash. There's not a whole lot to talk about here. This is a relatively simple concept that's executed just about as well as possible. The material choices are good and the basic outline of the vehicle is very striking. I don't know why it's called Heavy Starfighter because it doesn't look heavy to me.
No, it looks very lightweight. It looks like a very evasive space vessel.
Yeah, heavy doesn't strike me as heavy. I think what is most successful here is the array of weaponry hanging on the underside. That's a smart detail that turns what appears to be something, light and evasive, as you said, into something more formidable, and that certainly does the title justice, so good job, Slam Slash. Moving on to minigame of the week. The best minigame of the week was Jetpack Joyride by McMacastine. And this minigame requires you to fly around a two-dimensional space while avoiding obstacles and collecting coins. It's actually based on a real Flash game, so it's not an entirely novel idea. It's still pretty fun and addictive. And McMacastine executed it perfectly, as he usually does. He was also able to add a lot of extra features to this beast, including an assortment of jetpacks to choose from, hidden areas, and achievements. And you don't normally see this much hard work incorporated into a minigame, nor do you see it this polished. So good job, McMacastine.
Nerd.
Why do you call people nerds? Well, I don't know. Whatever. Moving on to Decor of the week.
In answer to your question, Gray, nerds deserve to be mocked. They did not share their answers to the exam with me, and therefore, they will be destroyed with fire.
Moving on to Decor of the week. This week, I'm pleased to showcase a piece of decor that truly stands out amidst its competition. It's really rare to see an interior space so unique and so complete. So this is Amala, Medieval Hotel in Snow, created by Camuel, or Camiel, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Who knows? The exterior of this build is impressive in and of itself, but what's really special about this plot is what sits inside. The interior is what I can only describe as a dimly lit vault of decorative mastery, and each room has its own look and feel, and the range of materials that Camuel was able to incorporate is a feat in and of itself. Through a fusion of rustic and luxury motifs, Camuel has engineered an interior atmosphere that looks incredibly posh, but in a humble sense. The hanging lights, the contrast of wood on stone, and the elegant furniture arrangements are quite an achievement for a home of this size. It feels much bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside. Kind of what you want to accomplish for any interior space. And then there's the basement, which is a masterpiece as far as basements go.
Oh my god, it looks like the man who lives here is clearly a serial killer. There's definitely body parts hanging from the ceiling, and I'm pretty sure that most of the boxes stacked in this basement are full of severed heads.
There's no evidence of that, but I think you're referring to the hanging meat and animal carcasses. I don't see human carcasses.
I disagree. I see human carcasses. This is how I choose to interpret this build.
Well, you're interpreting it wrong, as you usually do. But this is an overhaul of the rustic aspects that are less prominent in the upper floors, which makes the building seem even more nuanced than it already is, which is pretty impressive, so. And now moving on to Mega Build of the Week. We will start with the bronze medal, which goes to a build titled Castle Airborn and its Fleet. Not an entirely elegant name, made by Nana Hessel. Nana Hessel is on Weekend Review all the time, because he makes cool steampunk, rustic, conquest shit every single week. He never seems to stop, and this week he has made a giant floating castle. And I don't know if I could call this steampunk. It's really more rustic than steampunk, but it does have some steampunk elements. I mean, anything rustic that's flying is obviously steampunk. I don't think that it's possible to be anything other than that, because in that period of time you couldn't make a castle fly. In fact, you can't even make a castle fly these days. So
that's for sure.
That's steampunk for any period of time. But this is a really heavily detailed build. It's not as big as some of the other mega builds that we're going to be talking about in just a few seconds, but the interior work, for one thing, is pretty outrageous. You don't see interior work on builds this big usually, but Nana Hassel goes all out with his interior work, just as always. And then you got the giant red and black balloon. Kind of minimalist design there, but it definitely does the rest of the build justice. So good job, Nana Hessel. Good on you. Moving on to the silver medal, which goes to a build titled Isona Traditional Skyscrapers by GGJ16. And this is a block of architecture and infrastructure. You got like an apartment building and then some skyscrapers on the northern side.
Northern? How do you know that's the northern side?
I'm just guessing. I have no idea which side. It's not like there's a compass hanging over the f***ing thing. I don't know which side is north. On the left side, there, the side that's on the left side of your f***ing screen. Is that descriptive enough for you?
No, I need more description. Be more specific, otherwise.
Well, there's pictures on the screen. It's not like I have to describe in full detail what's going on here, but you can see it. There's buildings, and there's a skyscraper. And it's beautiful architecture. It's very well done. And there's cars and streets and streetlights. What more do you want me to say, Wilfred?
I want you to tell me how this is a critique on the thermodynamic properties of liquid mercury.
It isn't.
Well, you should make it seem like it is.
That's not my job. I'm just here to report what it is, not what you imagine it should be. My God, if that were my job, then this show would be a cluster. Nobody would watch it.
I think lots of people. I think it would be more. I think it would get hundreds of millions of views on YouTube.
It would get 0 views. It would probably get like 5 thumbs down.
How can it get thumbs down when it isn't getting any views?
I don't know, but you would make it possible. Because you're such a useless piece of shit. You. Whatever. Moving on.
I take offense to that, good sir.
Nobody cares. Moving on to the gold medal, which goes to a... And before we jump into the gold medal, I just need to say something of considerable importance. I do not like Walmart.
Who does?
That's right. I don't think there's anybody who actually does, but I need to say that anyway. And the reason why is the fact that the best mega build of the week is Walmart Palmdale, created by Yazur.
Yes, sir.
And I've been to Walmart. I'm there all the time. Not of my own volition, but rather because they sell my favorite ice cream for the low price of $3.49.
Damn you, Walmart! How do you keep your bargain prices so low? Corporate witchcraft!
But what matters is that I know damn well what Walmart looks like, and so do you. And let me tell you, this build looks exactly like Walmart. Yazur clearly spent some time studying Walmart. Yes, I know, that sounds horrifying.
I just imagine him sitting in a dark room with blueprints, coupons, and discount tags hanging on the walls with a web of red string hanging overhead.
Yeah, Yazur's just sitting there, he's like, this means something. Structurally, this is absolutely a spot-on rendition of Walmart. The roofing, the parking lot, the loading areas, and even the gas station that's always, you know, sitting on the outskirts of any Walmart, are all perfectly scaled and expertly built with a distinct minimalist style. And what really impresses me here is the level of detail Yazur was able to achieve. Be it the placement of the light poles, the parking lot markings, or the worn road conditions, every aspect of this build is designed to mimic the real-life conditions you would find at any local Walmart.
The real-life shit conditions, because Walmart is a shit shack that sells shitty products, but they are cheap. So I guess I have to go to Walmart.
Yachts! Who doesn't love yachts? I mean, you might not be able to afford them, but I don't think there's any denying the inherent coolness they exude. And Minecraft has produced hundreds of yachts over the years, and this week was no exception, because the best water structure of the week is Topaz Mega Yacht by LMNOP.
My god, this man takes the alphabet seriously.
Yes, he does. He practices on every hour on the hour.
You're a freak, LMNOP.
Yachts are not particularly rare to see here on PMC, but there is a rather large range in terms of quality, and the key to building quality yachts is creating as many layers as possible with the vertical space provided, and LMNOP, Alphabet Master of the Ages, does that very successfully here, incorporating 6 different levels with some great detailing added to the side of the hull as well. The other important aspect when it comes to yachts is decor. Every yacht requires some kind of exterior decor, be it a pool or a sitting area or what have you. And while there doesn't appear to be anything on the interior to this yacht, there is plenty of exterior decor.
Maybe there is stuff on the interior, he just didn't show us any pictures.
Yeah, he didn't show us any goddamn pictures, so I'm just gonna have to assume there's nothing. There could be great interior work. He just didn't have the forethought to show it to us. So, you know what? You don't get any credit for the interior. If there's interior decor, you lose, and it will be ignored by me and by everyone for the remainder of eternity. Even if you update the build with interior decor, you will get no additional diamonds. I decree that, and so it shall be so. And the other... But the dining area, the helipad, and the pool, and the outdoor bedding area are all very well designed and lend a feeling of luxury to this already impressive boat, so good job, LMNOP. And moving on to Gadget of the Week, the best gadget of this week is a mod, a vanilla mod, sorry, to be more specific, a vanilla mod titled Be the Herobrine! Herobrine disguised by the Red Engineer.
My god, Red Engineer is on this show like every single week. He's the master of gadgetry.
This mod adds a dynamic to Minecraft which allows you to collect items and manufacture a mask that allows you to play as Herobrine. The amount of abilities that the Red Engineer was able to shoehorn into this mod is insanely impressive.
Ah, that's right. As Herobrine, you will gain the ability to leave a trail of fire in your wake. Jump 40 blocks in the air, cause explosions as you hit the ground, corrupt mods, summon fireballs, and teleport other players like the troll you are. Oh, and did I mention that you're also invincible? That's right, there's no limit to the terrifying feats you can accomplish when you're playing as Herobrine.
That's right. It's pretty impressive stuff. There's a lot of dynamics to this. I think there's like 26,000 characters in this command, so credit to you, the Red Engineer, for having no life and spending all of your time writing code in Minecraft. Moving on to Terraforming of the Week, there are 4 medals to hand out, 2 bronze, 1 silver, and 1 gold. The first of the bronze medals goes to a map titled Mountains of Lindheim. Ultra-realistic terrain by Chronomaster. And this is some mountains with some nice rivers, and there's not much else to say about this. That's what it is, factually. In a short sentence.
Well, come on, you have to talk more about it. You can't just say that.
Well, no, it is. I mean, you know what I really like about this is the rivers. The rivers look amazing. That's something that you don't normally talk about when you talk about terrains, but I mean, just look at this overhead view. They look great. I mean, it's not exactly huge terraforming accomplishment, but I really like it. And the mountains are good too, so good job, Chronomancer. Moving on to the other bronze medal, which goes to a terrain titled Fantastic Terrain.
Arrogant.
By Dezd. And this is the type of terraforming that you always see from Dezd. He does this globular, kind of Gabersid-esque terraforming style. You see that kind of signature thing where he does like a darker shade of materials on the top, and then on the underside you got a lighter shade. It kind of makes it look like
kind of looks like a bunch of donut holes kind of mushed together.
Yeah, that's true. That is kind of what it looks like. It looks like dough, or it looks edible.
It looks delicious. I want a piece of that.
No, I don't think it's I think it's earth. So not edible, but it still looks pretty good. And it's not exactly large scale, but you know, quality over quantity. I respect that. So good job, Desd, which brings us to the silver medal, which goes to a terrain titled Soreni Noalma by Barbarian, and Barbarian is a Week in Review regular, as you all know, and his terraforming style has really evolved over the past few months. This is, I think, one of my favorite terrains that he's released recently. I really like the color patterns that he was able to develop on the grass and on the mountains. Kind of like this swirly, almost looks like you're hallucinating.
Yes, it looks like the effects of taking crystal meth. You look at the terrain and you try and dig a hole. Because people who are on crystal meth always try and dig holes. I don't know why. It's weird.
Yeah, Breaking Bad has taught us that. But, no, it's the color patterns are amazing on this. It almost looks like it's vibrating, or it's like there's some electrical current flowing through it. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. It's just really cool looking. So credit to you, Barbarian. Well done, good sir. You've done your country proud. Not really, your country doesn't care. Whatever country you're from. Which brings us to the gold medal. And every once in a while you see a terrain that goes above and beyond in terms of size and in terms of variability. And this week, one such terrain stood very prominently, and it's called Ravenor Reborn, created by Majoros. And it's rare to see a terrain as vast as Ravenor that also incorporates some truly unique biomes that go above and beyond the typical tundra, grassland, desert, etc. You know what I'm talking about. This map has dozens of biomes, and most of them are noteworthy enough to be considered Week in Review worthy in and of themselves, and that's saying something. These clever biomes include a mountainous tundra adorned with towering ice spikes, a valley filled with cylindrical towers of earth and trees, an underground volcanic cave system lined with a river of lava. Wilfred could probably relate to this.
Yes, it reminds me of the good old days. Back when I would shoot fire at tourists and say, "Hey, get out of here, this is my home, you're not welcome here. You have been deported, you."
And you also got a desolated wasteland with burnt trees and scorched earth.
This is what I want to do with the overworld. If I am elected president, this is what America will look like, so vote Wilfred J. Pemberley in November.
Yeah, that's not really a good campaign. That's not really a good campaign slogan. Make America turn into a wasteland of death and destruction. Wow. Okay.
Trump has nothing on me.
That's just the beginning of this long list of biomes present in this map. And to me, what really stands out here is the attention to detail that was given to each individual area. It's clear to me that an immense amount of time was spent on each biome to ensure that each area looks not only great, but also bears its own unique identity, not only in this map, but amongst all maps here on PMC. So good job, Majoros. And now we shall talk about Plot of the Week. Much like hubs, plots take on a variety of concepts and forms. We're all familiar with the dense atmosphere and decor that can be developed in a closed space, but sometimes plots can be just as opulent as a mega build. Such is true with Futuristic Tower, a plot created by Luapi. And there's not a lot to say about this one, other than the fact that it looks amazing. The architecture is opulent, layered, very precise, and it's the definition of futuristic minimalist architecture. The buildings are surrounded by some cloudy, viscous terraforming and some flying vehicles, and everything in this plot is exactly what you come to expect from something out of the far future. Luapi did a great job orchestrating everything and making all of the components complement each other the right way. So, well done. Now moving on to land structure of the week. In order for any small-scale land structure to be successful, it has to dominate in terms of quality, not quantity, because if it dominated in quantity, it would be a mega build. So that's the problem you have there. Though this week, there was nothing that excelled more in terms of quality than Noble House, created by Mystic Runes. This piece of architecture is simply stunning. You don't often see an idea as simple as this executed this well. It's quite honestly perfect in every way. The roofing is layered and complex. The range of materials is smart and appropriate for the type of architecture. And the use of foliage and small details like the fence posts elevates it to new heights. This is what I like to call a showpiece build. There's no interior work.
At least apparently. Again, there could be interior work, he just didn't show it to us. So if there is interior work, you should feel a great shame. Mystic Runes.
And there's also no world save. It's simply there to look good. It stands as a source of inspiration for all who view it. And when it comes to showpieces, renders are very important, and let me tell you, the first render in this project is one of the best I've seen all week. The way the rain and the smoke hang above the roof is a fantastic touch that adds so much to what is already an excellent piece of architecture, so good job, Mystic Runes. Moving on to organic work, the bronze medal goes to a build titled US Machine Gun M2 Browning by West Builders.
My god, this is an intimidating piece of weaponry. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of this badass.
No, I wouldn't either. This looks like something out of a Terminator movie or something. It looks dangerous. It looks like it would kind of, I don't know if somebody could hold this and fire it. I think it would probably it would fly back. Maybe you have to mount it on the ground or something, I don't know. I don't see the tripod or anything on it. Maybe that's attachable. Maybe
that's an extra accessory. You have to pay more for that.
Wow, it's good to see that even the firearm industry is ripping people off with useless accessories. But no, this is a great piece of organic work. It's always nice to see organic work used to create, large-scale renditions of small, familiar items. I love the bullets in this. I don't know what you call it.
It's like the track of bullets that gets fed into the gun. Those are big bullets. Again, I would not want to be on the receiving end of those. As you well know, getting hit with an arrow can kill a ghast. I can't even imagine what this would do. It's a shame that nobody ever comes to the nether with this, because then they could probably just kill everything. The wither would run in terror if somebody pulled this out.
But no, this is really cool stuff. Good job, West Builders. The silver medal for organic work goes to something called JigaBachi AV by Pandamonician. That's a mouthful of a name right there. I don't know what JigaBachi AV means. Didn't really describe it in the description, but this is a giant-ass futuristic helicopter.
Once again, that is a scary piece of military weaponry. Jesus, it's got missiles, it's got machine guns, it's got these propellers and the wings in the back. My god, man.
This is scary organic work right here. I think it also has a bomb that yeah, it's got a bomb that rotates. I don't know if that's a nuclear warhead. I'm just gonna guess that it is.
Yes, it is a nuclear warhead. Although it would probably have to get higher off the ground than that. Otherwise, it's going to just get blown up with it. It's kind of pointless. I don't know what it's thinking there, but yeah, nuclear warhead. Why not just throw that in there to what is already a collage of scary guns and whatnot? So good job, Pandamonician. Change your name. It's too difficult to pronounce.
Which brings us to the gold medal, which goes to build titled Ewageaf. Again, I didn't pronounce it right. I don't really care. The Siren Sanctuary by DJ Pauly. Wow, DJ Pauly hasn't been on Week in Review for a while, but he used to be on Week in Review all the time. But this is one of those pieces of organic work that uses a vast array of techniques. And it's an absolutely beautiful island featuring a dense clump of palm trees and surrounded by a circle of impeccably detailed humanoid statues. And every aspect of this map, be it the tangled tree trunks, the leaves, or the statues, is very realistic and downright majestic looking. And as I said before, this is a really complete usage of organic work. DJ Pauly uses a vast array of techniques to create all kinds of textures. You got the rough nature of the palm leaves and the foliage, sharply contrasted with the smooth, deliberate shapes and forms that make up the humanoid figures. So it's a really, it works in a lot of ways. And there's also a boat. There's also a nice boat. That's a structure. It's not really organic work, so I don't know why I'm talking about that. But it's nice. I'll mention it. Why not? We'll just throw that in there.
Why not? We get credit for the boat. At least you actually had the common courtesy to show it to us, unlike the people who build houses and then don't show us the interior work. Assuming there is interior work, and assuming they're not lazy. Lazy bastards.
And now moving on to Hub of the Week. Hubs can take on a variety of shapes and forms. Some adopt a strictly circular nature, in fact most of them do, while others are more unorthodox and complex. And this week there was a hub that excelled in terms of theme, variety, and sheer exuberance, and that hub is titled Stop the Elements by El Neo X. I don't know if I've ever seen a hub this size that so successfully creates contrast between the different portals. I mean, every area here bears its own unique feel that perfectly matches the function it's intended to serve. For example, the creative area is identified by a nuclear mushroom cloud.
Yes, this is a statement about the sort of raw, unlimited power one has in creative mode.
It also incorporates a sort of irony that plays on the relationship between creation and destruction. It's kind of funny that the nuclear explosion, the most destructive man-made thing in existence, is used to designate an area dedicated to creating something. It's kind of ironic. The skyblock area is built atop a lofty cloud where the trees have leaves that also resemble the surrounding overcast. This is one of those more self-explanatory themes, but it's still a clever way to represent an area dedicated to building things in the sky. And then you got the survival area, which is exactly what you'd expect it to be. A castle built atop a volcanic ruin. It's a sort of ominous rendition that exudes a sense of danger, or perhaps even an impending challenge. And then finally, the factions area is represented by a swirling whirlpool surrounded by some icy spikes, and there's an octopus.
I'm not entirely sure what this has to do with factions, but damn, it looks cool. Good job, sir.
And now we move on to Coaster of the Week, and I told you this would happen. I said it, and then I warned you. Do you remember what I said? I said if there wasn't a coaster to talk about, you would feel the full f***ing fury of my heinous wrath. And by that, I mean I'm going to punish you by rambling about science stuff.
Oh god, no! Please don't!
So unless you're a nerd of epic proportions, prepare to be bored out of your skulls. Today's subject is the infamous Sub-35 Prion.
Oh god, this is gonna be so bad.
A protein, as you well know, is composed of a string of molecules called amino acids. Amino acids come in four distinct misfolded proteins that have the unique ability of converting properly folded proteins into the misfolded prion form. The prions bind to one another, while the 35 end domain found on Sub-35P. Sub-35P is a translation termination factor, and its absence results in prolonged translation. Species have extremely similar Sub-35P proteins.
Oh my god, I'm so bored! Somebody stop him!
Rates. However, previous studies have shown the light emanating molecule GFP, or green fluorescent protein, to the plasmid containing the Sub-35 gene. Aggregation can be detected based on the intensity and localization of fluorescence in the cells. There! Are you happy? Your IQ has just increased, but you are forever scarred by the boredom you've just endured. Upload a coaster next week! Or else!
Please do it. Please, for my sake. Somebody do it next week.
And now we talk about Map of the Week. And there are 5 medals to hand out this week, because it was very competitive in the mapping category. There were actually a few really good maps that didn't even get medals that probably could have on other weeks, but you know. I can only give out 5. 5 is the maximum. I can't push it any further than that. I mean, I don't have all day to talk about this. I got a schedule. So the first of 2 bronze medals goes to a map titled Lost Wisdom by Schnuggot.
Schnuggot? My god, that's a weird name, but it's an addictive one. It rolls off the tongue, so I'll accept it.
This is a huge palace built kind of on the side of a mountain. It's a very opulent type of architecture with some bright material choices. You know what I really like about this is the architecture is kind of trailing along the side of the building. It's kind of going up on a diagonal. You see that? I really like that. It's kind of I don't know. I think that's really cool. You don't normally see that because you can't really use MC Edit to do stuff like that, which kind of, you know, people aren't going to do something that isn't easy to do. You know, we wouldn't want to do that. We wouldn't want to challenge ourselves like Schnuggot does. But Schnuggot did a really good job with that. I think that this is some really unique architecture and some really nice terraforming built around it as well. Some solid terraforming. I like the sprinkling of snow on the top of the mountain. That kind of works well to complement the architecture. So good job, Schnuggot. Well done. The other bronze medal goes to a build titled Hogwarts 2.0. By Mr. Batu. Yes, Mr. Batu. Master of maps. He's created Hogwarts, and you guys know what Hogwarts is.
Is it a disease?
No. It's a fictional castle set in the universe of Harry Potter.
How did Harry Potter contract this disease?
Did you not listen to me? It's not a disease. Hogwarts... Yeah, it does sound like it. It sounds like...
It's like Mad Cow, except with pigs. It causes you to grow warts on your brain, and then your brain stem dissolves, and you turn into a zombie.
No, that's not what it is. It's a castle, okay? It's a school of witchcraft and wizardry. The f*** is wrong with you? How can you not know that?
I know many things, but I don't know that.
But no, this is great architecture. It's actually one of the best renditions of Hogwarts I've ever seen here on Minecraft. It's not the whole thing. It's actually a smaller piece of it. It's not the whole castle grounds. But the terraforming around it is fantastic. And really complements it well. So good job, Mr. Batu. Well done. The first of 2 silver medals goes to a map titled The Old London by Elysium Fire.
This is significantly different from the New London in that it is old.
Yeah, I think we could figure that out, Wilfred. I don't think you needed to specify that very obvious fact.
Yes, well, some of the viewers may not know what London is.
Everybody knows what London... What the hell are you talking about?
They might think it's a venereal disease or something.
No, that's something you would think, not them. You seem to think everybody is as crazy as you. I don't understand why you think that.
Why wouldn't they be? Are you telling me that I always assumed everyone was crazy and I wasn't?
That's what all crazy people think. You realize that, right?
Doesn't matter.
But no, this is getting back to reality. This is some absolutely fantastic architecture. There's a lot of architecture and a lot of really nice terraforming. The hills in the background are really cool. This is kind of 2 sides of the city built along canal. Yeah, like, I don't know, what's that wooden wheel? Is that Ferris wheel? That's weird. I don't know. You got like the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben and everything. It's all, this is a lot of work. And there were a lot of people who did renders of this one. That's a good thing, because something this epic and this massive deserves to have a lot of nice renders to complement it. But overall, this is impressive stuff. Good job, Elysium Fire. The other silver medal goes to a map titled, and forgive me if I pronounce this horribly wrong, which I am. I'm going to pronounce it wrong. There's no way I can pronounce this right. It's a mouthful. Les Falaises de Brisecers-Ollonet.
My god, who did this?
Smoker MS did this. This sounds French. Could you maybe do your title in English next time, Smoker MS? Because I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm just gonna call it Les Falaises or Les Flasses. I don't know. Jesus Christ. This is a chain of islands with some huge palaces built on top of it. The renders are hypnotic. I think that's the word you could use for these renders. These renders are fantastic. But no, and you got some floating terraforming. I don't know what's going on here. This is just like a mystical terrain that's like it's some parallel universe. I don't know. It looks cool. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's supposed to be. I don't know what Smoker MS's intention was here. We'll just say he's crazy. He's crazy. He has harnessed his insanity and applied it to Minecraft, and this is what has happened. So good job, Smoker MS. You know, I make fun of him for being insane. There actually was another map that was like just outside. It was like the 6th best map of the week. That was even more insane. But it just didn't make the cut. I wish I could. It didn't have a lot of pictures, and that's the main reason why it didn't make the cut. I would have loved to talk about it because it was really crazy, but there just wasn't enough there for me to really review it. But I'm probably showing you the picture right now anyway. Yeah, that one. That one made by someone. I don't know who made it. I don't have the name. I don't have the file in front of me, so I'm just going off my memory here, which is admittedly terrible. I have terrible memory. I don't remember things. I don't remember anything. Like, if it happened 10 minutes ago, I remember it. It didn't happen, so...
You might have a disease or something, because I don't think that's normal.
No, I think my memory just naturally sucks. But the gold medal this week goes to a map titled The Roar of Giants by JigaBachi. And I'm going to be honest, I have virtually no idea what this is. Part of that is because JigaBachi, as usual, provided no explanation in his project description. That isn't necessarily a bad thing, it's just a source of confusion for me. What this appears to be is even more confounding. It seems to me that what we're dealing with here is a gigantic primordial monstrosity that has a distinct biological makeup that allows it to chemically mimic its surrounding environment.
Like a chameleon?
Yes, I know, it's complicated, but bear with me. There are 2 distinct versions of this map. That's right, not 1, 2. One version is a snowy tundra terrain, and the other is a mountainous grassland. The 2 different environments provoke a very different physical appearance of the giant organic figure present in both. Now, I'm just guessing that the monster present in each version of this is the same monster, but it's also possible that they are different entities altogether. But I'm going to stick with my particular theory because I don't really have the time or the energy to write a book about this single project. My theory is that the monster here uses some kind of chameleon-like ability to blend in with its surrounding environment. So, for instance, in the grassland terrain, the monster's skin is covered in clumps of green organic material, and its back is covered in spiky mountains. In the tundra rendition, the monster bears a significantly different appearance, where its skin is covered in patches of snow and icicles. There's also a slight twist, which I am admittedly having a hard time wrapping my head around, where the monster has some kind of laser turret sticking out of the back of its head. I have no idea why this is happening. Maybe it has something to do with the circular mechanized thing that's trailing behind it. I don't know.
It's a downright crazy idea, and it's almost impossible to analyze it because I have no idea what JigaBachi was trying to do here.
And again, that could be a good thing or a bad thing. I have no idea. If his goal was to confuse us, then he accomplished it flawlessly.
That's right, we're confused. We're very confused.
But be that as it may, this is a quite noteworthy idea that uses a lot of creativity and incorporates a lot of different building techniques. Terraforming and organic work aside, this map also has some structures, including some small boats, which the creature appears to be plucking out of the water and eating.
Its main diet is boats, and also sometimes buildings, but it has to be careful because the buildings raise its cholesterol, and it has to watch its cholesterol. He has high blood pressure. It's a problem in his family. It's genetic.
So not only is this a creative concept, it's not exactly easy to execute either. That's an impressive achievement, even for somebody like JigaBachi, who isn't exactly unfamiliar with crazy, impractical ideas. So, good job. And that concludes this week's episode of Week in Review. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I will see you guys again in the near future. I'm going to be releasing a few projects in the near future. I have an animation that I'm working on. It's a rant that Wilfred does that I think you guys will enjoy. And then I also have another special project that will be released probably within the week that you guys will see. And then there's the desert building contest, which is well underway. I think I'll finish it in time. And there's also going to be some lore to that I think you guys will enjoy. So do enjoy your list of qualifiers, and be sure to come back next week when we'll have more shit to talk about. See you guys!
5, 4, 3.
Thank you. that a colossal wave will one day devastate the coast of America.